The Omni King has destroyed 6 universes. Universes 13 through 18 got erased, all because Zeno got a tiny little bit upset. Entire universes with their own gods and life wiped out for no reason, without having any explanation at all. At least when he threatened to do it last time he held the Tournament of Power. Back then they didn't get that privilege, it was lights out for all of them. But what happens when one of those universes comes back, more specifically, an angel of that universe? This is the final part of the Universe 13 angel story, and it actually goes deep into the psychology of these angels, how they normally act so calm and carefree. However, this is what happens when they've been pushed too far. In some ways, you get to sympathize with this angel because even though he's technically been breaking the angel law, he hasn't killed anyone or done anything truly evil. He's just simply not allowed to be there because I guess the Omni King blew him up along with the rest of the other universes, and that's why Goku and Vegeta are fighting him. It's not because his end goal is to destroy the Earth or even the universe. He only wants revenge on the Omni King because the Omni King was the one who took his life unknowingly. From a different perspective, it starts to make a bit of sense. The chapter begins with Universe 13 fighting against Vegeta, and so far in this story, both Goku and Vegeta together are able to overpower an angel. Goku has reached Ultra Instinct and Vegeta has unlocked the highest possible level of Super Saiyan Blue. As the fight goes on, they actually end up winning it. They hold him off for so long that the Grand Priest and Whis are able to come down from the heavens and give Murno his final judgment. They come down and the Grand Priest says, "Looks like this is the end." Since arriving in Universe 7, Murno has thrown everything off balance, and surprisingly, the Grand Priest actually can't do anything to him. He says, "Well, now that you're caught, it's gonna be up to the Omni King to decide your fate. Even though technically I'm way stronger than you, I can't do anything, it's all up to the Omni King." And that's the difference between Murno and the rest of the other angels. He is sick and tired of being held down by the Omni King. He thinks that it's so lame that he's been born into this privilege of being an angel, to have all the power in the world, be able to do whatever you want, but be restricted by these laws and governed over by the Omni King. He talks back to the Grand Priest, who's pretty much his dad, and says, "How does it feel taking orders from a child? I will never understand why we are restricted to such useless things." He then goes on to say, "You really think I'm gonna let my fate, my life, be decided by the Omni King? A child? What a complete joke." He then begins speaking to Whis. He says, "Hey Whis, how would you feel if it was Vegeta, Goku, Beerus that suddenly got erased? For no reason. Would that not bother you?" Whis replies with a pretty firm stance, and he says, "It does not matter what I think or how I feel. Everything will be decided by the fate of the Omni King." And that's really what Murno is taking issue with. He's an angel, the strongest race that anyone's ever seen. These angels are exceptionally powerful. They're a 4th, 5th, 6th level dimensional tier character, and they're being restrained to a child, someone who can just erase them whenever they feel like it. That's why he's challenging this so hard, and from his perspective, it does make sense, and that's why so far this guy's a really interesting character. So as it's about to happen, the Grand Priest is about to take this guy back to the Omni King. He has one final stance. While he's sitting there, he begins to blow himself up. This explosion is the size of a galaxy. He would rather die, go out by his own hands, than be erased by the Omni King. Being erased by the Omni King has to be the worst fate imaginable. This guy's gone through it, he knows what it's like, and so they go on to say that throughout this whole story, Murno didn't actually have evil inside of him. He was not doing this just to be evil, but he was sick of being just an angel that observed. He doesn't want to live under the unreliable nature of a child, and essentially that's what Zeno is. Beyond the credits of this story, there is one final page. Before coming to Universe 7, Murno cloned himself an infinite amount of times. So even though he's self-destructed, the next thing we see, he is at the Omni King's house. He looks directly at both of the Omni Kings and said, "It's been a while." Both of the Omni Kings look back so confused, and Murno goes on to say, "Those bodyguards look a bit too comfortable watching over you. I guess I'll start with them first," and that is where the chapter ends. It's unfortunate that's where the story ends because it is such an open-ended ending. Who knows what happens now? He could either win against the Omni King and he could be the new ruler of everything, or the Omni King could just stab him out of existence like that, like he did last time to his universe. This story does have such an interesting premise, and it really goes deep into the psychology of even beings as perfect as angels can be pushed too far, and this is the story of how that happens. Anyway, that is going to be the end of Universe 13's story. That is where the creator ended the series. It's a pretty cool story that, if it happened in the real series, I don't think many people would be complaining about it. It's such a good concept for a story to be told with all these angels that they have. Eventually, something like that needs to be done, but for now, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Dragon Ball video.